We have a $13 million record sale. Was it $13 million record sale? A potential $400,000 rookie sale. Fanatics London shop. The hobby's big week. Welcome to the card show. I'm your host, Pat Rip Mahomes. Let's dive into this crazy hobby that we all love. No better place to start than the record-breaking Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's 1 of 1. Absolute crazy. I think it was just shy of the $13 million. I think it was 12.9. 12.932. I'm just looking at it right now, which is crazy. Dual auto. I mean, yeah, absolute craziness. It was obviously I don't say conglomerate, but it was a team, a group of friends, business, quote unquote, business associates that decided to chip in and get this. I know there's another app or another company that you can do something similar. Right? You can buy like shares. Or you can buy like a percentage of a card. So it's interesting that this is the thing. It's going to be interesting to see, $12.932 million. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what this sort of the ripple effect, the after effects that it's going to have on the rest of the market. Are we going to see more people team up to purchase big cards? I mean, when it's a 1-on-1 of two, goats of the sports, the sort of 1 and 3, 1 and 2, with Jordan and Kobe, wherever you put Kobe's on you, if it's number 2 and number 3. I'm not going to argue. Some people might put him 4, especially if you're a Celtics fan, maybe even lower. But I think arguably, people will look at Kobe as up there if as the number 2 or number 3. People might put LeBron up there as the 1 or the 2. So but this is one of the biggest cards, right? Of two quote unquote goats. It's a 1 of 1. It's so you can sort of so much demand, but if someone does offer, in 2 years' time, 10 million, then you could also reject it, right? Barring one of the partners needing money or whatnot, and they would want to cash out of it, whatever. But it's the 1 of 1. It's the only one. If they say we're only telling us to 20 million, that's what it's going to take, right? So it's going to be interesting to see the effects of what happens to this card now. Does it just get stuck in a vault somewhere and never to be seen or heard from again until, I don't know, 10, 20 years down the line? Do we see this now transact again next year? Or touch wood doesn't happen, but if there is a tragedy with Michael Jordan, do we then see them list it or do a private sale for 15, 20 mil because of that sort of price hike, right? Because of the hype cycle, as we talked about on this channel before. So it's going to be interesting. It's again 12.932 million. Absolute craziness. Does this now? Will people look at other dual autos? Because I think dual autos are sort of, I don't know, I say underappreciated. I think that's a bit harsh, but they're sort of, I don't know, maybe they're not always the greatest as well. Some of the things. I don't think there's that many great dual autos. And when I say that many, as in, you could probably go down each year that cards come out, and you'd probably struggle to have one for each year where you go, okay, that's the one where it's going to be stand the test of time. It's going to be the one that people in 10 years' time are still going to want. I remember didn't do like a Roy Keane in a Mika Richards, like in an England and Ireland sort of shirt and stuff like that. It was I don't know, doing some like weird ones. So yeah, does this change the outlook on that sort of stuff now? Do 1-on-1 dual autos become sort of looked at from all different types? So this isn't your usual sort of, this obviously is it's 2007, 2008 cards. It's not like a Topps or a Prism either. Like it's not like a Prism, a Panini product. It's not like it's a big name product. This is an upper deck exquisite. Which again is still very good in its own right. It's really very respected, especially like era of cards. But yeah, it's it's going to be interesting to see what happens and going forward. Obviously Top's going to have a lot of licenses now with NBA and NFL officially from. Oh, it's already happened. I don't know officially from whenever that happens. Yeah, so do they go? Hey, we have opportunities here to put the people that are pushing breaking for their own Fanatics Live as well. We have an opportunity here to do what was it? Was the box called like Breakers to Light? We can do Breakers to Light with a chance of catching this dual auto, and it's going to bring the hype even more. Let's make sure we've got solid goats. So do we now see sort of Messi, Ronaldo? I mean, I know that Leaf do this sort of stuff. I don't think they've ever done a Jordan Bryant I know of. But yeah, do we? They definitely. I'm seeing a Messi. Is it Messi? Like looking at Messi, Mahomes. Maybe Peyton Bright, Manning. I don't know. Is these like like top people that are their sport sort of thing? So yeah, do we see that sort of push now? The top sort of jump in here and say, hey, we've got an opportunity here. Yeah, especially because they've got LeBron, so they could do LeBron. Wemby, I think that's already done, right? Wemby, LeBron. Dual 101 with licensing is obviously going to make it a lot more appealing. Can they do that? Could they mix the sports? Obviously, they've got tennis. Could they do one with tennis? Whether that be sort of the old guards, even like Djokovic and then LeBron. Could they do the sort of the new guards and sort of Wemby and Alcaraz sort of thing? Yeah, it's interesting to see what happens now with sort of dual autos and do people look at other sets? Because I think some of the lesser respected sets like Gold Standard and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure they do dual autos and stuff like that. So it's gonna be interesting. And I think how big this news is as well, this sale, because it's so much money. I think it's definitely put sports cards like firmly in that space now, like alternate asset. It's something that people really look into a lot more. It's obviously big news of the hobby. It brings more eyes in, potentially brings more money in. On a complete flip side, hit the mic. The complete flip side to this high-end card, extremely high-end card, should we say, is the fact that Topps obviously released the Premier League cards, the debut season in pretty much everywhere. I've seen them. I'm someone who doesn't pick up much wax at all. He said sitting next to the ones he does pick up. But this is from years ago. This is from, you can see on the screen. This is Stadium Club Chrome. You know what year this is? 2021 maybe. That was from card sales. From a funny story about that. But yeah, I don't pick up much wax. But they were in my local Tesco. I was shopping, and do you know what? I was like, let's it'd be good for a video. Let's buy a few little tins. I put 2 mega tins and not the starter pack. It was like a mega pack thing. So yeah, it was again. It's at a nice price point, $14.99 for the mega tins. Super tins are $19.99, but there's none of them at my Tesco's at the time. I think they've got them in Argos, which is like around the corner. So I might pick some up again for the video. Cool little video to do. But because I bought so many cards, it took so long to like record it and open them all. And I was just like, this is like a 12-minute video now. I'm going to turn this from a short little video to a long form video. So I'm going to try and sort that out a little bit. Yeah, again, they're nice enough cards, paper. They're nice. It's like in between like the match attacks and not the chrome cards. I did get 2 chrome cards though for nothing there. There was a Roy Keane and I think it was Nathaniel Klein with the 2 chrome cards. So yeah, and again, there's some very nice looking cards, some nice feeling cards, the good quality to them. Yeah, and again, like I said, they just push them out everywhere. So it's another way of getting more people in, right? Because you see, again, there's no reason for me to pick up sports cards from Tesco's that day. I saw them, I was like, hey, this cool, let's do it. £15. Picked up 2, and the mega pack thing was $13.99. I can't remember what was different about it. Obviously, it wasn't a tin, but it was like, so I'm sure it was the same amount of packs, but like the bonus cards were different, which is interesting. So when the tins open, it's like the 4 packs of the Premier League cards, and then is the whatever your tin is, because the tins have names. It's like 3 cards in 1 pack of that tin. I think mine was world class or goal scorer sort of like, and something else. I can't remember now off the top of my head. But yeah, they would, it's another way of getting people in very easily, low end. It's now about educating them, right? So they don't think that they can buy these 14.99 tins from their local supermarket and potentially pull a 12.9 mil card. Which sort of leads on to another one is obviously the Lamine Yamal, right? A bias pulled one of all Lamine Yamal rookie autograph card out of the £165 top Inception box, and they reckon it could be worth up to 400,000. It's going to be very interesting. I think this has been on Talk Sport now. I think it's been obviously done the rounds on socials. I've not really talked about it. I love it how they sort of they say it's going to be worth this much. I think it's interesting. It's going to be who has the most put Yamal an MGC card, because and again, no disrespect to MGC, but then you're hoping that you can crack it really into the PSA and it comes back at 10, just to solidify half a mil sort of area, right? Because if you put that onto the open market at 400,000, it'd be interesting to see who just snaps up and who does think, right, okay, if we're doing it now, what else can we gauge off as a PSA? Because PSA tends to go for a similar price for this kid. Does it appeal to the US market, who might be prospecting on for next year, the World Cup in America? It's interesting, and he's obviously one of the biggest rookies to chase last couple of years. It's not, there's not been anyone else to chase like him, I'll say, this last year or so. So the rookie cards, I don't want to say they've stalled in soccer, but they've definitely not been as hot. We sort of kind of lucky coming for people coming in COVID. Lucky and unlucky because of the hype. The whole Pedri and Gavi. And, it's always even Ansu Fati or Makoku. And now it's Lamine. It's always the Spanish league, these rookies. It's always the Spanish league. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. And my advice is for anyone who's thinking that they can just buy £165 tops Inception and potentially make 400,000 is obviously, this is an extremely rare case. And again, like I was saying about rookies, it's probably not going to happen with the rest of products for a long time because of this whole rookie scenario. Again, if they did a duo of Messi and Yamal, maybe then we'll be talking, especially on 1-on-1. To Barca, it's like legend to future, like passing the baton, isn't it? Legend to potential future legend. So yeah, that would be interesting. But yeah, it's not the way I would advise to make money in this hobby if that's what you plan to do. But yeah, it's £165 the top Inception box. So that is crazy. But the money it goes points into these rookies is crazy. No matter what sport it is, the rookie hype, the rookie chase is real. It's a big business. It's crazy. Switching over now to business, there is a Walmart report 200% sales growth from 2024 to mid 2025, with Pokemon up 10x year over year. It just goes to prove how mainstream card collecting is, whether it's sports or TCG. We know obviously how big in America anyway. We've seen it with sports card shops in the UK. It's I don't know if you remember a couple of years back there was a whole vinyl hype, right? When vinyls were big again, and you couldn't get old school vinyls in charity shops anymore because people were buying them, selling them elsewhere. Shops were buying them and opening legitimate shops as sort of vintage vinyls and that sort of stuff. They were massive, and it was one of the things when the people that were collecting vinyls as younger people, younger adults, then had a lot more money and went to go back to that nostalgia. And it's similar now with cards. I'm coming to that age now where collecting for me, I was a kid and I couldn't afford a lot of cards. So now I'm an adult with a lot more money because I work. That you do these sort of things, and obviously COVID helped bring a lot of people in because they had essentially free money. But yeah, I think it's definitely like the cycles in it. What comes next? I mean, I'm hoping for what Tamagotchi hype again. Remember Tamagotchi or Furbies? Remember Furbies? Um, I didn't buy a Game Boy again. I was gonna buy a Game Boy during COVID, but I didn't. My cousin's partner did. That was fun. Also getting old Pokemon Red and lots of stuff back on there and lots of nonsense. But I did have a little emulator to have all the games, so I got it that way. But it's obviously we just sort of go back to what you love, don't you? It's always in cycles of when you're into it as a kid, the time you sort of forget about it and move on, and when you go back when you've got money and you go, oh god, yeah, I remember collecting. I want to get back into it again. So it's interesting how that's now massive boom. So I think it's obviously a lot more adults had the money, and it's a lot more adults buying them. Some, yes, are buying it for their kids as well, but a lot of people, adults, are buying it. You go to card shows, especially the TCG ones, and it's obviously adults who are buying and selling. Whether they invest or not, they're fans of the Pokemon TCG, wherever it may be they're selling, and they put a lot of money into it. So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Let me know your thoughts on that as well. Do you think there is like a cross hobby opportunities for an expansion between the two? Obviously, we know some car shows are TCG only, some are sports card only, some are mixed, some are, the mix never seems to be 50-50, but the mixed either way. There's some that are 60-40, 70-30 area. I think the two biggest mixed, well, three biggest mixed ones currently, you'd say it's London, Scotland, and Northwest at the Liverpool one. And then also you have a few smaller shows that are mixed, dotted around. I think Yorkshire's mixed. Obviously, MCC is quite good for the mix, while they're usually close to being 50-50. So yeah, and obviously you have the TCG only, you have sports only. Yeah, Cardiff is mixed in as well, I suppose. And the ones they do. So yeah, there was a few mixed and a few. So it's interesting to see, did they splinter off more to more TCG only, sports only? And then we have a few big ones throughout the year that are mixed. Interesting. It is interesting. Yeah. Another one on our current states, obviously, the Fanatics London store is smashing it. Apparently, on the store on Regent Street is projected to generate $25 million, triple its original forecast. Celebrity appearances and Premier League licensing and experimental retail and fueling unprecedented demand in the UK hobby landscape. I mean, that was wrote in the Times, right? So they have potentially tripled their original forecast because of all the events they've done. It's interesting what when I say generate, because also we know how it's gone from, you go in the first day of release and it's 175, you go in the next day release, it's 220, you go in the next day after release, it's 225, the next day release, 245. So, it's interesting how they generate this cash. There's been a lot of talking points on how they've done their business. I think it'd be interesting to find out what the sort of the split is between the cards they have in there compared to the wax they sell. The boxes and the cases, etc. I think it's interesting to see if that's maybe location's a big thing as well for them. We obviously know Kaboom is in London, so I think it's not far from like Arsenal's ground. But obviously, with this being sort of Regent Street, it's like prime London location, and it's very much experience first. Is that the direction shops should be going? I think, we've seen a few shops pop up around the country now, and how many of them are leading with something experience first. So it's possibly one of the big pulls. Again, the location, the tourists, people go there, when it's in the area, probably the massive help as well, and the strings they can pull to make these experiences. But yeah, I think it is one of the big things. I think, I don't think I've spoke to or heard a card shop owner say that their shop is not for the community. I think that's one of the pluses we've got over here as well, is every shop is for the community. And I think as long as Tops and stuff like don't gatekeep a lot of stuff like this, like when they did the Tops nights, I think the Tops Rips nights, was it Kaboom? If they did 2 now, 1 or 2 there, and they've done one, it's Trade Week in Loughborough. Like I said, if they can move them around the country, it'd be great. If they can, not so much lease out, but if they say, hey, we've got some big products coming out, we want you guys to have a day of doing this sort of stuff because we see how successful it is in our store. We want you guys to do it as well up in your areas, so we can, help grow, so we can get some athletes from there that we've got to show for the day. I mean, it would be the way, right? I think it's about time a UK brand as well steps up to the plate a little bit. Maybe they sort of try and force this issue, whoever that may be. But it's clear to show that $25 million is crazy. It's clear to show that the UK hobby is here. I've said it before about the London Card Show. I've said it before about other stuff that we do as a country in this hobby. Everyone talks about the Americas. Oh, they've got such a deep history in it, and we're just babies. We're really not. We're like, if we're babies, we're like the AI babies. We're very smart. We're very switched on. We know what we want. We're good at getting what we want. Yes, the money may not be here, but we're on a small island with 66 million people. Compared to America. So, it is what it is. But we're doing our part, and we are finding our way, and we are doing our thing. Don't worry about that. And will this now as well make Tops, Fanatics look at Europe more? Could they, or I don't think they need. I mean, Scotland, or you could argue, I don't think they need another one in England, just because of where the sort of independent ones are popping up. Do they need to put one in Northwest as a Manc course? I'd love that. I love something like similar. They've got the City license, United license, so you can always get United players, City players up there. But I like the idea of your Triple C's, your Third Downs, your Kabooms, your Trade Wees, your Sports Card Directs, your Sports Trading Cards UKs. And those other ones, there's probably many more I've missed that I don't really know of. I like my idea of them. I don't want to be swallowed up by just Fanatic stores everywhere, because as much as they are sort of experience first, they're very influencer first as well. Whereas these other card shops we have, they aren't. They are really for the community. Where you can go and mingle with like-minded people, not feel ostracized or pushed to the back, or not be not invited to certain events. And when you are invited to stuff, or when it's an open sale, you just bum rushed by balaclava man them trying to take the stock, take pictures, and sell right there in front of you in the store for resale. So yeah, no. That's just my thoughts on that one. That's just my thoughts. Yeah, what else was it really to talk about today? I think that was pretty much it for this week's. I mean, it was a kind of a crazy week, right? So I kind of went to smash through them quite easy, quite quickly as well. But I'm intrigued your thoughts on Jordan Kobe sale. Um, do you think there's another card that's going to do this in the next 6 months, 9 months? There's another card that where people join forces and pay big, 12, 13, 14, 15 mil. Is this the pinnacle of cards? Yeah, let me know. Let me know. Is there a card in your collection that you think would shock everyone if it hit the market? Do you have a secret card in there? Like I don't show. I mean, I'm one of the things that's going to be changing soon. I don't show a lot of my cards, and I keep saying I'm going to, and I just never have time, space, energy, effort, whatever it is to do it. But yeah, and last little thing I just want to touch on because there was a few comments, not as many as I thought it was going to be. To be fair, there was a few comments on that last one. I just want to say, well, I did forget, like when I was saying about this whole show scenario and got to see the vision. It also does open up the market and if these other shows just to sort of they're the smaller shows, quote unquote, and not to be disrespectful, than London to sort of have more of a following, have more going there because people can afford it more. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I've said, it's about the vision of London Culture, the vision of England, and how are we doing? Like you can talk about how you don't have the money, but clearly the money's in England. If Fanatics London store is going to generate over 25 million, there's a lot of money to be spent on cards apparently in London and UK. So yeah, my thoughts on that. Well, we'll talk about the F1 Ferrari as well. Oh, heartbreaking for Lando. I don't mean, let's face it, it doesn't say the championship's over him, but it's a tough ask on back because Piastri is on fire. He's ruthless. Let's see, football's back. City are 1-3. NFL's back real soon, so I can't wait because City are just poor. Liverpool just beat Arsenal. Arsenal, I mean, no, yeah, this not disrespectful. Arsenal the same Arsenal, like quite good, resolute defensively, still missing that like attacking prowess. I think was it 1-0 against United? I can't remember what the other score was. I know he scored a few, and he Gokras scored and stuff like that. And then, not saying that United are a big team and never played to win 4-1, whatever it was. Was it Leeds he beat 4-0 and stuff like that? Or a small team, but it's like more of a resolute defense, more of a team structure. And then again, Liverpool and is a bit toothless, don't they? Like they just didn't have that threat as much. But it's still early days. But it's good to have the Premier League back in it. It's good to have it back. Let's be honest. So yeah, and also will we see Misfits Chrome? We know Sidemen have a deal with Tops. They're influencers. They work well with Tops in the past. They've been at Fanatics Fest. So yeah, could that be something that KSI works on? If you did, I want to say you heard it first. On the day, this is the 31st of the 8th. You guys will be listening for any time from the 1st of September onwards. So if we see a Misfits Chrome, Darren Tillautos, and Joey Essex, all sort of nonsense, then you heard it here first. It's because I put in a stratosphere and I want some royalties from it. But yeah, I think that could be something that would be interesting for those people. I don't know if they've got the I suppose it'll have to decide and then post on it, and KSI will do autos. It'd be interesting if Logan does autos in that as well. I suppose he was never really a Misfits sort of guy, was he? But yeah, it'd be interesting just to see if that happens. Because let's face it, the influencers are sort of running the world, aren't they? So yeah. I don't know. Have they got anyone I'd be interested in? I mean, Tony Ferguson would be interesting now. Till would be interesting. I feel like Till's more of a national hero now. He's boxing than he was UFC. But yeah, I mean, will we see anyone like obviously the KSI's pushing crossovers? Would you imagine seeing I don't know John Jones? Because he did the UFC. It was a UFC in the ring, right? It was more Mitch Marshall's in the ring. Sorry, UFC in the ring. Mitch Marshall's in the ring with Dylan Dennis. Could he see John Jones? Could he pay John Jones? Could he afford to pay John Jones that sort of money? Or would he? Yeah, he'd like Mayweather win it like his retirement tour. Just get John Jones some little ring with some crazy influencer, probably Deji to be fair. You know, in mixed martial arts fight, yeah, probably. But yeah, until that happens, I'm not chasing Naruto. But as always, guys, I appreciate you listening. Subscribe, make sure you are subscribed if you're not subscribed. I'm not putting things on pause with stuff that I'm still working, just working a bit slower than normal, just due to life. But yeah, things are going to be changing, developing, new stuff coming. Hopefully you enjoy the new stuff and it's more worthwhile. A few new structures, new restructures, just a few new things, just structuring things a bit better. We've gone from just a guy who collected and filmed at shows to them voicing opinions and thoughts and interviewing people for the hobby on podcasts and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, just and then obviously on data diving and trying to give back to this hobby. So yeah, just a few things sort of change and sort of divine things up a little bit, just make it a little bit easier. Get pack grip back to pack grip, and yeah, something else maybe not. But yeah, I was tempted to get rid of the name Pack Grip Mahomes. I was tempted to move on a little bit. I said, and now I think I found a good balance of everything. So change and good change come as soon. So I appreciate you guys. I'll reveal soon. I'll probably do a giveaway for it as well. For the real listeners, real OGs to subscribe. So make sure you subscribe because I know now how to see subscribers. If you are subscribed, and it's a setting where you don't show that you're subscribed, change that so you're subscribed. Because I'll probably just put their names in a list and then like put it on a little wheel and do it that way and give something away. So yeah, make sure you're subscribed. Don't want to miss out. Peace.